Look, young people are very intelligent. They're not interested in left or right. They're interested in what works for them now.
Right, and I think it's great that the youngest people want the oldest guy ever to run. They don't care about anything else. He's authentic. Authentic. He doesn't even own a comb. That's
You have a problem with age?
No, I'm the one who speaks against age now that I'm 60. I mean, ageism. Yeah. But doesn't Bernie deserve this? I mean, he has proved, I mean, he was, what, 30 points behind in Iowa? He has proved, I think, at this point, that this is a year when anything can happen. I heard a lot about Donald Trump will never, Donald Trump will never, and then Donald Trump did everything they said he would never do. I think the rules are out the window until proven otherwise. Now, we may revert back to politics as usual, but until we do, doesn't Bernie deserve the people who have been saying, oh, I like Bernie, but he can't be elected, to shut up? The Bernie Butters.
Whoa, wait.
Hasn't he earned that much?
I mean, like, I would set aside, like, who deserves it, because I think there are a lot of people who would say, doesn't Hillary Clinton deserve it at this point?
So you're for her?
Well, no. I mean, listen, I think what's happening...
Who are you for?
Honestly, like, I think the race on the Democratic side, I watched the debate on MSNBC last night, and it was so substantive and so fascinating. And, you know, there were points at which I'd say the first half of the debate, when you're talking about economic policy, Bernie Sanders has a really compelling message. The second half, when Hillary Clinton is talking about foreign policy, and when Bernie Sanders is talking about foreign policy, it really makes a case for Hillary Clinton's candidacy.
But who are you for?
I really... as I'm a journalist, Bill, and as you know, I maintain...
We never take sides.
Never take sides in MSNBC.
I'll take that as a Hillary.
I tell you this.
But do you want Bernie Sanders getting off Air Force One and making a deal with seriously, on foreign policy, do you think that he's at the level that we need?
Fuck yeah. The guy who voted right on the Iraq war?
Okay, but
yeah, I do.
You can surround yourself with people with those kind of credentials, those experts.
Well, it didn't work for your guy.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll get to that later.
No, really.
Listen.
I mean, he said we have to put a coalition to confront ISIS, and then they asked him which countries he couldn't name one.
Well, he was right about that.
That's
true. Right on that issue.
Look,
there wasn't one.
When you think about this guy's background and the narrative of his story and what he represents, that this guy who's a world-renowned pediatric neurosurgeon would be a strong fourth ahead of the Bushes, the head of the Christians.
If he was running for
testimony to America, man, come on.
If he was running for chief surgeon, I would vote for him.
He's running for president of the United States,
which he has no qualifications.
According to you.
Well,
and you're entitled to your opinion.
Well, a lot of people have come to that opinion, including people in your camp.
We're not in a qualification-rich race.
You yourself.
Let the American people decide. That's what elections are about. Let them decide.
And they are.
Let them make the choice.
Although
and you respect the process.
I would like
I agree with
Carson to get back to work, though, because there are a bunch of people in this race who need their head examined. That's like the only thing I can really say against Ben Carson.
Okay, but let me ask this question once more about Bernie Sanders. It seems to me he has put something on the table that I would call a New Deal. FDR had the New Deal, and it was like, look, the old way of work, because we had a giant depression, of doing things just doesn't work. It seems like Bernie is putting on the table something we've never seen before. America could be more like a Western European democracy. Yes, you'll pay some more taxes, but we're going to cut defense, and look what you get for paying a little more. That's what Europe
Under
is.
what
You
Congress?
get free health care. You get free college.
Okay.
I'm just saying, wait, let me just finish. Let me just finish, and then you can talk ad nauseum. We have never had someone do this, so we don't know how many leftists are out there who have sat out election after election because they thought the two parties were too alike. So is Bernie probably going to get his hand handed to him in Indiana and the South? Yes, but maybe not, because this is the year when there are no rules.
I think it's fun. I really like this a lot. I don't know about the Europe stuff, though. Europe has not had a great track record over the past 100 years. Ever since the Archdukes got a flat tire there in Sarajevo about 1914. I mean, where do you even go to get all the commies and Nazis and 90 million dead people to make America more like Europe? You know, I wouldn't go down that line if I were Bernie. But I take his point. What we're going to find out, on Tuesday, is how many leftists there are in America who know it's Tuesday.
Listen.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's the reality that we live in a time of divided government. And until Democrats start voting in off-year elections, which would be a good way to change the makeup of the Congress, and we resolve our redistricting process, like, the reality is Bernie Sanders isn't going to walk in there with a supermajority in both houses of Congress. So I don't know where any of this stuff is going to get passed.
He deserves to be heard. He deserves it. Everyone wants Mrs. Clinton just to waltz in without being tested. As far as the socialism,
not tested.
Without being tested.
She's 110.
Yeah,
and she was married to Bill.
Listen, this is a new election cycle, new ideas, new issues that surround the world like terrorism. She needs to be tested again. She just cannot waltz into the White House like a coronation.
Well, she's hardly waltzing.
Yeah. She's like literally hobbling in with
waltzing.
like a trail of email printouts.
Right.
Let me tell you, if the right wing gives anybody a free pass, it's Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, right.
Really?
All right, let me ask about Rand